Good morning, guys. It is the 2nd of May today, I think, and welcome back to another episode of Lock Valley Farms. Alrighty guys, what is going on? I am out at the moment spraying a bit of post-seeding pre-emergent on the canola that we got in. We got it in about 24 hours later than I would have liked after that 7.5 mil that we had. And when you only have 7.5 mil, every minute counts because it has dried up very, very quickly. So I don't know, how we're going to go getting a germination, but I guess we're going to find out. So we had another whopping 1.5 millimeters of rain in the gauge this morning, so it's just been a funny old month, the last month. Just dribs and drabs coming through. It's like every week we're getting small amounts, but it's just, it's been, I think we've had about 45 millimeters over the last month, and it sounds like a lot, but at this time of the year when the sun's still got a bit of warmth and that, it just a little bit falls, it dries up, a little bit falls, it dries up. So we're still looking for that season breaker, that nice 20-25 mil soaker, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere in sight at the moment. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hope that something better comes along. But the canola's in the ground. My 65 hectare trial of canola is in the ground. It's ready for the big dry spring this year that they're talking. So I know that might come across a little bit negative, but it's not forecast to be a great year, so it's probably not the best year to grow canola. So we'll see. We only need a rain at the right time and everything's all hunky-dory. So speaking about growing canola, here is our cropping plan from the agronomist this year, alright? And I had a very interesting conversation with Stacey this morning about growing canola, and the question from her was, why even grow it? And it's a hard one to answer in a way, but I'm going to run through some figures with you guys. They're just going to be round figures, they're not going to be exacts, but just to highlight what it's actually like to try and grow canola in our area. And like I said, this is not going to be exact to exactly what we're doing, I'm just going to round it off, but it's interesting nonetheless, and it was a fair question that she asked me. So just let me find where we are here. Alrighty, here we go. Now, as I said, this will be very rough because he's actually got a GM variety of canola on here, which, that's not what I've seeded. We couldn't get that seed, so it's going to be off a little bit. It's going to be a little bit different. We've tweaked a few things to our liking, but this is a rough idea, okay? So this is what it's going to cost to put this crop down, or what it's costed me. Seeding, knockdown chemicals, so pre-seeding, you're looking at about $6,000. Sowing, including seed, air seeder, fertilizer, all that sort of thing, about $20,000. Coming back, spraying out our ryegrass, because that's the main reason I put canola in here, is because of the ryegrass. Too much ryegrass. Typically this would have gone to barley, but we've got to do something to control the grasses in here, so I thought we'd trial this canola. But coming back doing that, looking at about $3,500. Top dressing, about $12,000, so that's more nitrogen fertilizer, insurances, windrowing, harvest, freight, blah blah blah. It comes out to about $50,000, alright, for 60 hectares. So this will be interesting if you're not a farmer. So to sow this 160 hectare paddock is costing me $50,000. So if the crop doesn't do well, it doesn't even make a ton to the hectare, which is quite possible on a dry year, I stand to be at $600 a tonne, out of pocket about $20,000. If it goes around average, say 1.2, 1.3 tonne to the hectare, I stand to be out of pocket about $5,000. And if it's a good year, and it does alright, and it gets up towards 1.8, 2 tonne to the hectare, I'll be $18,000 in my pocket. So yes, it's a fair question to ask, why would you even grow it? I guess the main thing is, we're not shooting for a drought, we're not shooting for a dry year, we're shooting for averages, and we're always hoping for the best. That's what we do as farmers. We've got our program, and like I said, you never know what the weather's going to do, so you just got to stick to your program and go with it. Like I said, got to do something to control the grasses in here. I've never grown canola before. Dad's done it a lot in many years past, but I wanted to have a crack at it myself. So I guess it'll be a good trial for me to see how it goes this year, and whether want to front up and give it another go again. But I mean, there's other options for crops, like I could have put beans or something like that in here, I guess, but I've already got quite the program of beans this year, so I just didn't really feel like I wanted to put that many beans in. But I can give you some figures on the difference between what it costs to put the beans in and what it costs to do the canola. I mean, the other thing I would say is that you stand to win big with canola when it goes well. You know, last year, people harvesting damn near 4-ton canola crops at almost $1,000 a ton. So that's just way above anything else. That's way better than anything else. Like, it's an incredible amount of money if it goes right. So comparatively to put in a crop of beans, input costs, I can have a bean crop do about 1 ton to the hectare, and if the prices are decent, say around $450 a ton, I can pretty much break even on that crop. Now 1 ton to the hectare is not a very good yield for beans, so it just goes to show the difference in input prices there, but I thought that was a worthy sort of comparison there. Yeah, like according to the figures there on the cropping plan, you can go fairly poorly in the beans and you can still pay the bills almost. So, but like I said, it's high risk, high reward with canola. And that's, at the end of the day, we're just gamblers, farmers. We put stuff in the ground and we just hope. We hope that things work out. And overall, generally, things work out. So, you know, you can't be too put off by it. Anyway, interesting little chat there for anyone who's maybe a non-farmer. Yeah, I hope you found that interesting. And full clarification, guys, they are not 100% figures. They are just what's written down, what I was looking at in the book in front of me. If I wanted to figure out an exact price, I'd have to sit down and do it to exactly what we're doing the program as. And that kind of included harvesting and all the other side of getting the crop back out of the paddock. So, yeah. Well, that's all done and dusted. Took me longer to brew up than it did to actually spray it. So I had someone ask me about this last time I was spraying. I was filling out some paperwork. Someone said, oh, what was that you were filling out? Well, it's a spray log. So every time I go out and do spraying, I fill this out. So I've got records in case the powers that be come one day and want to know something, or want to, I don't know, try and get me in trouble for something. I've got records to kind of show that I'm doing the right thing, I suppose. So it's just got the products that I'm using, where I was spraying, the nozzles, and the conditions. So I take readings from a couple of places. Got my handheld weathermate there, and then I take one from a local weather station in Jamestown, Agbite it's called. So write that all down. She's all there, that way if anyone ever comes any day and wants to have a look at what we're doing, it's all logged. Well, it's Tuesday today, and that means that it's bin day, so I better run the bin down the driveway quickly so that gets emptied. But surely we've got the seed cleaner coming. He's coming to clean beans. We actually have not done any seed cleaning at all this year. We've been a bit behind the 8 ball on it, but once again it just comes back to priorities, and we just haven't pushed hard because we've had so much other stuff on the go. But he's going to come do beans today so that, you know, we could carry on seeding and get our beans in if we wanted to. But we have actually got quite a bit of clean wheat and barley there already, so if we were in a pinch anyway, we'd be fine to probably get through, I'd say, almost half of our wheat and barley program with what we've got there. So anyway, when I got the tow ball on, I tow it down the driveway. So I'm just going to head over and throw some fuel in the auger, put the hopper on that, and then we're just going to clean the beans. We only need about 15 tonnes, so we'll just clean them straight into the chaser bin today. And then when he's got time in another week or two, he'll come back, or a week or so, whenever he can come back, and he'll do the wheat and barley then. It'll be nice to get it all out of the way though. It's been left a little bit late, but he's a busy man as well, and it's just whenever he can get here kind of thing. Damn, this thing's just about empty. Alright, we'll go connect the load her up to the chaser bin and then should be about ready for him. The weather is just like a yo-yo today. 1 minute it's sort of like trying to rain and it's cold and I want a jacket on, and then the sun comes out like this and I'm like, man, I gotta take my jumper off. Must have got a little bit of moisture or something in there while it's been sitting there. It's just tight. There we go, that's it. Rightio, that should be nice and clean now. I have double washed it out and given it a run, so it should be a good thing. Well, the biggest drama there then was the last thing in that chaser bin was peas. So you really don't want any peas in there with your beans. So I just had to make sure it was fairly well spotless, but that's all done now, that's clean. So I'm just gonna let that dry. But I've just got one hopper here on the bottom of one of the bins I might just scrape out. And while we're waiting for the seed cleaner, I might just have a look at this batch mate, because the drum rinse hasn't been working. So I might get some tools and pull that off while we're over this way. Whew. I don't know, it's not blocked anymore. It would not spray anything out of there for the last 2 days. I come to it today, it's fixed. Making a liar out of me. I don't really know. I guess you call that a win? Well, I just grabbed myself a little break and the seed cleaner's turned up, and lucky Dad's got him all sorted out, so we'll go over and see how everything's going. What do you got there? Is that another egg? Wowie!
What is that? Another egg!
Those jammies look pretty cozy. I reckon I could have a jammies day soon. I'll be sitting over there.
We'll come for a walk and watch.
Yeah. So I have actually done a couple of videos on seed cleaning, grain cleaning, whatever you want to call it, before with this same seed cleaner. So if you want a little bit more in-depth, I'm not going to go too in-depth with it today, because I have, like I said, I've done a couple of videos on it. Go back through the archives and find a grain cleaning or seed cleaning, I can't remember what they're called, video, probably from about a year ago, and then another year before that. So So this is where all the unwanted things that should be coming out. Vetch, screenings, sticks, you can see the vetch there. It's a bit noisy over here. Look at you go, pedaling your bike, hey? Your little trike. It's a bit noisy, isn't it? Cool hat. It's very noisy.
It's very noisy.
Yeah, you gotta have these bad boys in when you're standing next to it. You go deaf. So I was just having a bit of a look at the beans that were coming through, and if you've been watching the videos and you know anything about harvest time, the beans were absolutely chock-a-block full of volunteer vetch and wild vetch tares. There's too much vetch coming through the clean stuff, the stuff that we're cleaning. So what we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna drag this here field bin out. We're gonna spit out what's in the chaser bin into there, and we're gonna have to double clean it, because I cannot have a repeat of last year. That was horrendous. We gotta clean it up. We gotta make sure it's spotless. You want some more beans for the chickens? Did they eat them all? Alright, I'll get you some more. We've got to double clean these beans. There's too much vetch coming through.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rightio, take two. Get this stuff nice and squeaky clean. Well, while we're standing around waiting for the seed cleaner, let's go have a look at what sort of a job our burn did. If you watched the burning off video, oh, I'm right next to the paddock, so let's go see how it's looking. Alrighty, so what was the reasons that we did the burn? We needed to get rid of the stubble so we could get through with the air seeder, and we wanted to try and clean up some of the weeds in here. Now, what you can see here, see right down the middle, that side there is where we did our fire break, so that did not burn. Can you see the amount of green there over, and then on this side? So, to my mind, that burn did a very, very nice job. And what can you see down every single row? You can just see in the middle of the row, green. On the inter row, there's nothing really growing. So that means it's done a good job. Probably fried a fair bit of the volunteer wheat and that was in here. And we did get the 11 millimeters of rain sort of the day that we seeded this. So what do we got in here now? Vetch growing everywhere. It's had a really good germination, and you can just see that up and down the rows. Obviously it's not perfect, there's still going to be some weeds in here. You can still see some one-leaf ryegrass and that's got going here, but from what I can see, it's done a pretty great job. We're really, really happy with the outcome. We made the most of the moisture we've had, made the most of that 10 mil, and you can see down in our row there, there's still plenty of moisture down in there for this vetch to keep growing. So yeah, it's great. This time a year ago we didn't have anything growing for about another month, so pretty good. There's still going to be plenty of ryegrass in here, unfortunately, by the looks of it. There's lots of little one leaf stuff getting going, but yeah, I'm really, really happy with how it's gone. Anyway, there you go, guys.
Cold nights, sunny days for southeastern Australia. Tuesday, Wednesday could see severe frost for the first time this season.
Got to kill the time somehow. They're looking $1 million now. I cannot find a vetch seed in there anywhere. Well, that's it. The double bean clean is done. We've got some pristine, clean beans ready to go, and we'll probably start seeding them fairly soon, maybe within the next week, I suppose. We just got a few other odds and ends to take care of, but yeah, it's only just around the corner. Well, folks, that's about all I've got for you guys today, and it's quite evident that things are only really happening on the farm at the moment as they need to, due to the very, very short turnaround between harvest and seeding. But it's not just us, everybody's kind of in the same boat around here, and to be honest, I feel like things are actually going pretty well. I feel like we're fairly well on schedule, so there's not really any complaints from me there. But once again, I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching the videos. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a good one. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.